Hockey's made some big strides since the NHL was almost killed by the lockout of 2005. With TV ratings steadily climbing and water cooler chatter building, the sport is on the verge of regaining the prestige it enjoyed in the 90s. EA's NHL franchise has followed suit, stepping up its game year after year, culminating in last year's stellar release. EA is counting on significant additions to its modes and gameplay to tip the ice in NHL 12's favor.
Ready to watch some hockey? Well, so are we. Got his arm up here. Let's see what it is. A 2-minute minor for hitting from behind.
Oh, this is gutless. I mean gutless.
2K Sports definitely struck a nerve with its integration of Michael Jordan into NBA 2K11. You've seen the residuals of this in Madden NFL 12, and now it appears in NHL 12 as well via the Be a Legend mode. Here you play from the sole perspective of a former NHL stalwart attempting to complete specific statistical objectives. The ability to control the careers of legends like Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux sounds a lot more exciting than it really is. With no recreations of past glories to conquer, it boils down to controlling a player with maxed out stats and ultimately feels like a missed opportunity. Plus, the 20-minute periods are a bit long despite the fact that you can sim to the legend's next shift. If you'd rather just create a player from scratch, the normal Be a Pro mode is available as well, and you'll need to work through it if you want to unlock new legends for play. Also new to NHL 12 is the 24/7 Ultimate Hockey League. It's still similar to a full-feature fantasy team where you collect player cards to form a lineup and then send them on the ice. Now your team is uploaded to a server for other players to take on. When you play a single-player game, you choose your opponent from 4 other user-generated teams, with one of them being in the top 100 for a real challenge. Whether you take on another team or random people face yours, you collect EA pucks to purchase more and hopefully better cards. All of this is rolled into a full-on Dynasty wrapper with all the trimmings. The compulsion to form the perfect team is stronger than you might think. The Be a GM option is the franchise mode that you'll find in most sports games, but NHL 12 takes it far deeper than most. With metagames for training scouts, coaches, and players, you get real, measurable results for your time spent off the ice. The in-depth settings allow you to dig as deep as you want or just play through the schedule. Our only complaint is that making a fair trade with the computer is almost impossible, but otherwise, it's as deep and fun as a franchise mode gets. In addition to these 3 massive choices, there's plenty of filler. Seasons, playoffs, tournaments, shootouts, practice, you name it. You won't find another sports game with more or more compelling modes.
The arms up for this call.
NHL 12 takes the ice with its predecessor having just completed a stellar shift. It's hard to imagine the gameplay improving, but it's been a productive off-season. Many changes may seem skin deep, but they immediately make an impact between the boards. Last year's physics engine returns to provide bruising checks and realistic puck reaction. Lining up the opposition is a lot more user-friendly, re-establishing the forecheck and backcheck as formidable strategies. Computer-controlled teammates are also a lot more active away from the puck and will redirect shots into the net. You can now lock up in front of the net to screen the goalie, and for the first time in series history, the puck is no longer magnetically connected to players. Take too long to pull the trigger on a slap shot, and it will slowly drift away. The entire ice just feels more alive. You can now run goalies and knock them off their skates, the net will come off its moorings, and benches react to the on-ice action. All these adjustments are simply polishing what was already a great playing hockey game. The skating, passing, and game flow feel perfect, and the new signature traits make you feel even more connected to your favorite players.
Defenseman hanging on the breakaway. Great chance to score and a bigger save.
We did manage to find a technique to score a little too often, and the default camera in the Be a Pro mode gets a little squirrely around the net. But otherwise, it's a solid improvement over last year's game, and that's saying something.
Getting shots with that's 4 and ends and goals on the board. And what a job he has done. Time to recognize in this game the work this goaltender's done. Watch these saves.
And Gary, when we see these replays, it really tells us what kind of a zone this goaltender has been in tonight.
The graphics and sound feel as neglected as the Nassau Coliseum, and the result is a game that looks almost identical to last year's effort. Sure, the checking is more realistic and players behave a lot more like the real thing, but most of the faces are still rough approximations at best. Breaking the glass has been a part of hockey video games since the 2D days, and now that it's finally made it to this generation, it occurs a little too often, as if EA is trying to make up for lost time. The animation variety is definitely where it hangs its hat, and it goes a long way as the games pile on. The PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions look and run practically identical. The play-by-play commentary is rife with cliches and melodrama, though it does manage to keep up with the frenetic action most of the time.
Here's an offensive chance, 3-on-2. That one had goal marked all over it. What a save with the glove.
The guitar-heavy soundtrack sets the stage well, but it's also sparse, and the ambient arena sound continues to impress.
Wow, I'm telling you, that
NHL 12 continues the franchise's tradition of excellence. It appears that the development team refuses to say amazing is good enough. The new Be a Legend option is disappointing, while the also new 24/7 mode shines. The graphics stay the course, but the staggering depth that pervades the entire experience puts yet another championship season on ice. As the real NHL rises in prominence, EA's hockey simulation is worthy of the same measure of success.
Shooter had a chance that snicked up there before he could get that shot off. In the slot.